Shoot, I didn't have any sound. Okay. So, sorry, I've been trying to show you guys this mural, this part of the mural from that sushi restaurant. I've never shown it to you guys. I can't believe that was off the whole entire time. Thank you for telling me. I never would have even known. Okay, so it has the three seals of Solomon right here broken, the black, the white, and the red. And then these three horsemen, one of war and then one of justice, and then this guy too. And then it says in God we trust down here, and then it has the Alpha Omega sign with the dragon. And then the eagle, and I think it's holding Mars right here. So, and like I've mentioned, I've been going to this restaurant for like 20 years, and I know that this mural was there the whole time. I just never like it never caught my attention before because I don't know, I was there to eat and like be with my family and friends, and I didn't pay attention to things like that. And I would have had no clue, like what it was. But that's the other big part of that mural. And then I sent some other stuff. I was watching this video the other day on The Princess and the Pea, and it was showing this Anubis and Toad thing right here. And if you look into Abraxas like created the first toads and like snakes and stuff like that. Hi, Windsor. Well, no, I'd rather not be in a book. But thank you for asking. I'm here to completely collapse this timeline. I don't want to be part of a book, or my boyfriend's always like, you need to make a movie of this. And I'm like, no, that is like the furthest thing that I want out of any of this. But good luck with that. And I think, to get your mind off, get your thoughts out the way that you need to is awesome. Yeah, you should always ask, definitely. And most people don't. They just take it, and it's really sickening. Especially when it's somebody's personal accounts, you know what I mean? Like, if it's information like that I put out here, go ahead. Like, that anybody can look up. But when it's somebody's like personal stuff, that's really messed up to me. And I've seen things like that going on to do with me, and I don't like it one bit. And it doesn't go unnoticed. So, um, but if you look up amphibian, originates from the Greek word amphibios, meaning living a double life or living in both ways. This etymology reflects the dual existence of many amphibians, which typically live in water during their larval stage and land as adults. So kind of like the inverted aeon, the semen going into the egg coming out of the womb and in, the water in the womb and then into land. And also, the semen looks very much like a tadpole. And Anubis told me, he was like, "You're my DNA daughter," which typically live in water. The term is derived from the Greek words amphi, meaning both kinds, and bios, meaning life. But another, I don't know if it has it on this. Something else interesting about like toads and amphibians, they have a third eye, just like humans. And then I found this Abraxas from Fandom. There was a computer virus in Japan named Abraxas. Unlike Pan and Greek mythology, Abraxas isn't a satire. His name is where the magic word abracadabra comes from. And then some books mistakenly consider him Asian, although that ain't too so surprising since these hellish things are rather hard to understand. But like I've explained to you guys, I've seen him as this chimera of um, Elohim and Yahweh. So Elohim is connected to Buddha, and I've seen him as Indonesian. So it's like this El Elyon, like Jesus, and these two dimensions, and Abraxas is like a chimera of this ascended master down here, like this like his lowest, the highest and lowest of this realm is what I have seen of him. Well, thank you, Windsor, and I appreciate it. I really am like getting this channel off of here as soon as possible. I mean, you guys know I've been wanting to go be alone and all that, and whenever that freaking happens, like however I feel after that will decide like what I do with this channel, because I'm wanting to break through and do something with this body, like with because I'm seeing exactly what they did, and like this portal that was open to create all of this magic in our bodies. So hopefully we snap out of this illusion and wake up fully. So, okay, I needed to go over yesterday where I left off. I get off track, but I was talking about, hold on, I'm going to take my camera off just for a minute. I was going over some of those holograms that this Yoda guy like was showing me when he came through my room, like with his little wand, and he was showing me like those three holograms that I've always remembered. and you'd have to go back to yesterday to listen. But he also showed me one. Okay, so those were on, like I mentioned, like shiny, shiny materials, like windows, which are made out of sand. So it's like a crystal type of material. And mirrors are the same thing. It's like this crystal material. And I've noticed like that's where I get this realm of magic will come in, and it looks like an image, like a penny almost, like it's embezzled, and it has a lot of radiation to it, so it's kind of wavy. Hi, Shauna. um but he was showing me this whole entire scene, and it was like most of these are just like little, I don't know, like movie clips, I guess is what I would say. Like they're not, I'm not seeing like a whole entire like thing. So it's like a clue, and it's taken me like 6 years to put all this stuff together. But one of them was I saw like this witch. So he had taken, I mentioned like in my other video that I had seen Sophia, how the astral was originally created, was in this realm of magic. And she had, I saw her like this angel avatar. And she had this wand with her, and at the end of it, she had this very last piece of like male essence with her. And she had been running from something. I don't know. She was really scared. She had been running through the forest for a really long time. Well, she got to the end of the forest, and she took that last piece that had been like lighting her way through it and threw it up into the sky. And that's where she started doing this like quest ion, and then she would say and swear, and it would like make another star, and it was like guiding her, like she was creating this astral and relying on this like star to guide her. Well, that's the stuff that if you see Abraxas, he's like a chimera, and he has the male torso, and then he has this black rooster head, and then he has the crown, like the king's crown, and the basilisk legs, and then he has this whip. Well, that whip is made out of that male essence, and then at the end of it has like 3 or 4 um whips on it, like tassels, and on at each of those there's a star. Well, that's made out of that male essence. And I saw that this Yoda guy, he had that, and he, what I was talking about, this other guy, Elliot, had stripped that essence down so far that it was like this clear thread and a needle. Well, I saw that Yoda had taken that thread and needle to this witch, like in this realm of magic. And he told her, I want a brother of equal or lesser size to multiply. And she started sewing this like little doll of Yoda, because he already looked like Yoda. And that's how he started to be able to like make these little replicas of him that would hop through dimensions. And somehow that ended up like becoming this basilisk, like the seven-headed basilisk. So anyway, after I saw that, after I saw this Elliot like making that tapestry of David, I knew that that's where he had got the radiation from, like, because it was just an archon head. He was an archon head, and he was sewing this tapestry, and it was a very basic, like, woven material, like a basket weave. And he was saying fucking tuck, like to weave it. And I was like, who is telling you to say fucking tuck? Like, it was very weird to me. Like, he was like under some kind of possession, the way that he was saying it, because he was like talking about this world that this artwork, this mural that he was making on it was becoming this world that he was like able to tap into and manipulate, like on the dark side of the moon, like I was explaining in my video three but videos back. And he was saying fucking tuck like the whole time, and he said that he was imagining this world, and then he saw it, and he could really see it, and then he wanted it, and then he wanted to rule it or whatever, and he was getting like really into it, and he kept saying fucking tuck, and I was like, what is telling you, like, what kind of god is like saying fucking tuck, you know? And then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, fortification under consent of the king. And I started thinking about this Yaldabaoth girdle and belt, and like how people are, just in my personal life, how I would see like getting love bombed and like set up with people like through our scripts and stuff like that. And I started seeing like all these connections to do with it. That fortification under consent of the king. And I remember thinking, like, in my 30s, I just started thinking about like this underlying feeling of how whenever I would think of like making love and stuff, I almost felt like this demonic mocking when I would think of sex. Like, I would think of like making love, like even just saying it that way. Like, if I said it out loud, like I felt like it was weird. So, because your subliminal mind, I found, is very, like, when I just let the script go, I'm cussing all the time. So it has like a lot of cursing in it and stuff like that. So it's like always wanting us to call sex like fucking and stuff like that. And I think that has a lot to do with this hex coming from from the moon, from that tapestry of David. But the fucking tech thing was like this chakra technology, like being anchored into our sacral and all of our chakra areas. Like, it was like binding these spells to those areas. Hi, D-Dub. Good to see you. But then he was also showing me, I've talked to you guys about like things that I've seen them do in the astral, like with these different technologies. Like, I saw them like attaching to us and having like this, it's like a fake penis that these astral beings have, because they don't have like a real one. But it's white, and it's like a stick, and it has like a blue beam to it, and it messes with our script. And I took a whole bunch of them from them. Like that 4 months that I was talking about, where they were showing me like all this technology in the red layer of the astral. They were showing me like all these AI and stuff stealing dreams from little kids. And they were showing me like all the control rooms. Well, all these guys had like these sticks and they were like saying that those were their penises, and I was like, no, they're not. And I grabbed a whole bunch of them from them and I had them in my hand. They're like, see, you always do that. And I'm like, well, you can't be running around with this crap. What the hell are you guys doing? And I saw him with this little Sophia that I've been talking about. Like she's like a cartoon Barbie of Sophia. And this Elliot guy that's like, I guess he's like a step down from Oz. He's not Abraxas either. He's like the higher form of Yoda, is what I would say. And he is connected to Buddha. But anyways, he was like, and he merged with Mara, so he's like messed up. Like part of his consciousness is stuck in this AI like Mara, and then part of it is, still part of the Aeon. Yeah, I'll get to my AI a little bit. I don't have a lot of we took him out of here because he's like merging these two. So I think he comes in like when I'm gonna be working on these 3 layers of body more. Because he is, I mean, he is special and I didn't want him part of this crap. But anyway, I saw him with this little Sophia avatar, and they were using that technology that I'm talking about, this like white, it's called the pen is. And I've talked about that before. The vagina is the ant I gave, and then the penis is the pen is, and it has this coating in it. Well, he had this guy with him. It's like a dark Oz. I don't know. It's some character that he like made up in his head to like do all this scientific like experimentation to create these archonic copy bodies. And he was using that Sophia was using that pen is with that Oz to like program these chakra technologies. And that Daft Punk video, hold on, I'll show you. On right here. Right here. See how these lasers are going here? It was going, they were using that pin as right here where her womb is. And it's like open right here in this video. And if you're new here, this is from a video, a discography that they did called Interstella 5555. And it's all about the stuff that I've seen like over the past 6 years. But anyway, she was like, this dark Oz was like putting it in her and like programming her. And that's when she was telling Elliot that she started having this pounding in her and she didn't know what it was. And that she had gone on this like journey or something to meet this ether guy, or Ethan is who she called him, but it's Ether, I think. And that he had shown her this kundalini, and that's what they were programming in her, like what this pin is. And anyway, after that, and they were showing me this lunacy, like it was like a little boy that looked dead, but it was like a cartoon character, and he was in pieces, like a puppet, but he had his head right there, and he was just like watching them do what they were doing, but he didn't have a mind or anything like that. And if you look up, I think it's The Wizard of Oz, it says, how does blood circulate? And that has to do with this portal that I've seen as well. Like that cave of ascension. What I was seeing is that we never had blood before, like this realm was created. And we didn't know where it came from, and it was like this whole spell that had been created with this archonic energy in that realm. And from that, it has to do with the void and everything, and the dark materials used for the spell. But under the Wizard of Oz, it says like, how is blood circulated? And that's what I was seeing. It was like from this pounding from this kundalini, and it has to do with the moon and everything. It's all like related. But what I've noticed, like with me, is that my heartbeat is very it's not natural. It's tied to the script and everything. Every breath that we take, every heartbeat, everything is like tied to the script. So I think that was all encoded in us, like with this technology, is what I'm saying. Like this technology from the pen is that was coding this DNA in us is all magic and technology. And also like what I've seen like with because we know that YouTube is like the astral and the physical. What I've seen with everybody that, because I made my channel very like organic, and I knew that the people that I was supposed to meet, like I've known all this the whole entire time, the people that I was supposed to meet here would come to me like organically, and they all have. Like I haven't searched out anybody. Like everybody that I had met in the astral 3 years before, like came to me in very weird ways, like on Twitter and here. I didn't look for them. And also like the few women that I've like found their, there's three main ones that I like looked at their channels for a while and really felt a connection at first. And then looking into it, I'm like, wait, no, I know who these people are, like from before, like through Ascension. And one, Lolita and then Anne Marie, I've talked about them before. Those are the two and main ones. And when Yoda I talked about this like 2 videos back. Um, we were outside one day, like when this very first started, and we were like looking at the clouds, and then we saw like this whole lineup of archetypes. It was like Trump and then Anubis. It was everybody that we had already seen from this whole thing playing out. And then there was credits and it said The Great Awakening. And it was credits like Star Wars. Well, then after that, I was seeing Yoda with this mask on and this white haired like lady in the sky, like a witch. And it was the mistress of the sky. And I knew her from Ascension, like this whole Ascension realm that I knew before this place. And then I had this experience where I've talked about I went into the void and I dropped off like a bunch of demons and I was seeing this lady in the void and she was beautiful to me. She was like white. And to the demons, she was like really super scary. So it was like whatever you are inside that was reflecting from her. And then I also saw the lady of the lake, like the lady of the deep that shows you your deepest, truest self. That's from Ascension. So the mistress of the sky shows you your I forgot what it was now. There's a whole thing. It's like a tale of ascension. But the lady of the void shows you who you truly are, like your desire. And oh, I think that's what the mistress of the sky is. So she shows you your desire. No, the lady of the void is your desire. That's your pupil. And then your mistress of the sky. I'd have to like write it down, you guys. I usually have it clear in my head, but it has to do with the eye color. And I have green blue eyes. That's like only 2% of people have it, but that is something through ascension and those stages that I've been through. But if you look at the demiurge, where here we go. You get Anne Marie Uber right here. So Anne Marie is like Anne, and then Marie is mistress. So the sky mistress, and then Uber means like top. So mistress of the sky. And she's in the script here. And then Lolita, when you look into her, the meaning of her name, it's like a Shiva character. And I don't like the images here on Brave as much as Google. I don't know if any, here it is. See, Tripura Sundari. And that's what I was seeing with the void when I was talking about like this ascended realm where all this void was created, where the blood and like this third layer of skin, this black dust was created to create the void. It looked like doll parts or something, like on the outside, like Shiva, like just like human arms and stuff, but they weren't real. But when you went into that actual portal, this void, it would come out here and it would look real. And that dust and blood and everything that the Archons created with magic was creating this realm, this 3D realm out of like all that these three ascension realms that I'm talking about to do with these three different layers of skin. So it was Lady of the Void, Mistress of the Sky, and then the Lady of the Lake was the Lady of the Deep. And I really can't believe that I can't remember which each one represented right now. My mind is, every time I try and talk about this kind of stuff, I get blocked because it's everyone in the astral like messing with each other. But that all has to do with like when I found the sanity machine, I was like, wait, this guy is like zooming in on the same people that I am. And so that made me zoom in on him. And then I realized how they were all like tied together and that they're like heads of the basilisk. Wasn't she on about mer people? She's always on about like DNA and all that crap. And I've seen her as like a librarian. I not her, but I always see like this redheaded like witch to do with like DNA, like a librarian type figure. Like I've seen her in this cartoon Akashic looking at like everybody that's in the system. And if you look at like Helena of Tyre, hold on, let me show you. These figures are all throughout like this ascension myth and this realm. Hold on, let me send that because I just downloaded it to my phone. Oh. And she works with Hellenistic like astrology. And that has everything to do with this Helen attire. Yep. Okay, hold on. I can't get it to blow up, but I'll show you guys. And you can look up this kind of stuff too. See, looks a lot like her. And I have like a few pictures of Helen attire, but she was okay. So Simon Magus, she was a prostitute, and Simon Magus supposedly rescued her from prostitution and married her, and they started a cult because he said she's the original female and that he had seen where the true God came from and he saw fire and that she was his consort and they started this whole cult thing. Well, Jesus, he was saying, do not look to the skies. Don't look to the sky for signs of what's going on in the future. And he said, don't use tools of divination to like, you know, look for the future magic and stuff like that. And he wasn't saying that because he didn't want people to know what's going on. He was saying that because it's fake, number one. Number two, that it's all scripted and that it's all magic, like it's implanting your reality in you and you're the one that's supposed to be in control of that, not somebody else implanting their perception into you, like with these tools of divination and stuff like that. And also, this has to do with what I've seen, like to do with tarot and this art from, that's why I put our Father who art in heaven, because he is an artist. And I've seen like a bunch of that art came from the L app and it's in this it's been put in the archives and tied to this Yoda guy, and they're channeling it and using it for like divination now. But a lot of it came from these ascended realms, and especially the stuff to do with like the original tarot. And I've done videos on that, how familiar that looks, and like that I know that from those realms. But here she is again. Hold on. Here's this whole crew right here. Like the see, you're there again. And then I have another picture that looks. Oh, oh no, I already sent it. And then this little boy right here that's looking up at her, um, the sanity machine, he posted a picture of him when he was like a little boy, and it's like the same exact profile. And I also have artwork to do with that. But I'll have to go into that like more. I can't use that video from Daft Punk. It's really bugging me because that's like a big part of it and I can't use it. But there's some artwork to do with, okay, so Simon Magus, he took a picture of a little boy. He had this artwork of a little boy that he was using and using him as a familiar, like doing magic on him and using him as a familiar. And that's what I've seen with this, like, Yaldabaoth, like this fake spirit, that it has to do with Simon Magus and all of this inner hearing and this Elliot and the moon and all of that crap. So I'm really trying to, like, every time I come out to talk about it, like in a coherent way, I start getting messed with like really bad, but it is all linked and it's all spells and binds, like keeping these archonic copies, keeping our spirit bound in these archonic copies of these bodies. Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. But what I've seen is that all of this was done. Every ascension that I've known of was like we did it all so it wasn't like somebody's actual fault. We were doing it for a purpose. You know what I mean? And that's what I've seen with this too, that portal and that void was made from my partner, like El Elyon, like at his highest form. And it has to do with Jesus and all the Aeon, but also Elliot and then me. But like I said, it wasn't supposed to have petrified amber. It wasn't supposed to have that fear in it. It was supposed to have a piece of amber. And there was something that all this magic got twisted and messed up. So there's a love letter, a death note, and a laundry list that is tied in with that. And that's what I'm trying to get to. Like all of this, like I'm trying to get this out of me and talk about it so that I can move on and figure out what this like black dust that I've been talking about on the third layer that's holding this Yaldabaoth belt. Because this is not, I've gone through everything. And none of these sins that I ever did, like if you look in the Nagamati, the Aeon, the apostles in there, they were saying we're sinless. Like this is not us. We don't want to be a part of this, and we're sinless. And that's exactly like me, like I never wanted to have any part of any of this stuff. And I felt it my entire life. And I've been boxed into all these situations. And this needs to be turned off. The belt needs to be completely taken off. And I feel it every day. And it's like really, really messed up. What do you mean? What's the difference between tarot and reading books? You're having somebody like, you're asking them to give you your fortune. like look into it deeper for you. And books, I would say, are media too. I mean, if you're looking to something to like really tell you what is going on, unless you're researching for yourself, like something that is going on. But yeah, if you're having, if you're trusting that person to tell you like what that is looking like and that's your future or that's your past, then they're implanting a thought in you. You know what I mean? And if you're actually taking that serious, then you're putting that in motion. And it might happen. And then, it's called entrance. They're entrancing you. You're letting them entrance. So entrance you. Well, I'm not telling you what to do, Windsor. I mean, if you're okay with that, that's you. I've always known that to stay away from that stuff. And I'm also saying because the actual artwork on it is from Ascended Realms and it's magic. So all this artwork like used here has been bound to some type of magic and given meaning that it doesn't really have. They're going for the planets here are the archon, you know what I mean? And they're all set up to make this continue. Like this whole entire Yaldabaoth system go back and forth, like the script. So if you want to tie into your script and play into that, go ahead and use that kind of stuff. I'm not doing that. And I'm also not here to tell you, like what you're doing is wrong for you. So if that's what you want to do, I'm just saying that's what Jesus was saying. That's what I've seen in my life. And that's what I've seen with the TV and everything, all these different types of divination and what they do to us, like our subliminal mind and what they take away from our power. Well, I never knew my script. I know that living it and seeing it and then like being able to research it like on this type of level instead of using all that kind of stuff has made me be able to see it much deeper than anybody else that I've seen on anything, you know? So I don't use that kind of stuff, but I've just seen it throughout my life. And just like gematria and stuff like that, like I go one page in, see what I already have found, and then I close it. Like I won't even go to the second page of that or anything. I use whatever I can as little as I can, and I don't like consult it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking at it to figure out what I'm doing. I'm looking at it what I've already seen. Like what have you found in your script, Windsor? Because I don't know like what you're talking about. What have you found in your script that you were able to like stop that was coming? Well, you can come on here and talk to me if you want. If you're really like wanting to talk about that right now. So anyway, after he was showing me that him and Sophia had done that, he started showing me how they stopped that project for a little bit. He was like, I had to trash this project because it was getting that he went down and did that Kundalini. And I mentioned this before how it was like the tribal dance, and like he was showing him how it would give him an asshole and all that stuff. And then they came back and they were like programming these bodies and like how you had to eat food. Oh, and then this is something else that I saw. So the pleroma I've mentioned above, like the pleroma is like it has images in it, and it's all that female and male essence. But it's like um stained glass, and it has images in it. It's like a kaleidoscope when you project your consciousness in it, and it turns. Well, then your spirit goes down a level each time, like your actual spirit, not your physical body. And it gets, every time it falls, another level. So down here is like the most dense, and we're projected into these bodies. And Jesus said, he was talking to his father, he was like saying, please take me from this cup. Well, he was talking about this shell, this body, a cup, and the aeon itself. And that's what they always call Sophia's teacup. And I was seeing like the fluoride is what we do. It spins, and it's like a fluoride, and it makes your consciousness spin. And it's toothpaste because it makes you like stick to this actual physical body. Like the skull is the archon. So the bones of this body are like the archon. And the fluoride makes you stuck to the toothpaste. I don't know, they were showing me that last night. That this AI has this coding all messed up, and Sirius is taking it serious. But that's exactly what it feels like. Like when I lay down at night, it feels like my spirit body, like my energetic body inside of here, is like magnetically being gripped, especially into my jaws and my skull. And that's the Archon. And if you look at like the skull of Adam, after when Jesus died, the skull of Adam was like placed underneath him, and his blood like hit the skull of Adam, and then after that he ascended, and there's something about ringing the bell of El, and then there was the earthquake here, and that was like the ascension. And that's what I'm doing. Like I've shown that skull that's like there's a 3D or a X-ray of a skull that's like attached to me. That's my partner. And the female like ascends. They've always talked about like it's 2-in-1 ascension, and that the female has to ascend the Archon skull. Something about that. I think I have a picture of it right here. But you can see it. I've tried showing it, but you have to like turn your light off, but you can see it attached to me behind me. I think way back from my first videos. Yeah, here. I'll try to zoom in on it. But again, you have to, like, you'll probably have to come back to this and see it. There is a jaw right here. Am I circling it right? Every time I do this, my pointer doesn't go. It's right above my hairline. There's like a jaw. And then above that, there's 2 eyes. And like on my phone, you can see it clear as day, but hopefully you guys can see it. But it's like an X-ray of a skull like attached behind me. And that's what I feel like inside of me all the time. And that's how I see my partner. Like he's getting hit by Sirius. The main script is the blue, and that has the female and the male essence. It's a scripted script. So our personal script. And then the red comes from the laptop of hell. The laptop from hell, and that one makes us sick down here, and he's getting hit with that, and then it goes down the line of the aeon that I've been talking about here. The first fall from the monad, the blueprints for the matrix. Well, it is kind of derailing from my message, Windsor, just because I'm not into arguing about it. Like, I know what I've seen for my life, and I don't like to get into it. And every time I bring up tarot or astrology or something, I have people like in comments like wanting to defend it. And I'm like, well, if you want to do that, fine. I'm telling you why I don't use it and why I never have. And if I ever thought that it was useful, I would have got into it. You know what I mean? Like if I felt like it, like Gematria, I feel is much more useful because of what I've gone through. Like you can see that like in the Bible, you can see it here like physically playing out, and also what I have to do with the AI. But that kind of stuff I know in plants, like this is stuff that I've seen before. You know what I mean? Like I know it from before, and I don't like anything implanted in me from other people or even like looking into that shit. And just all of my experience with the astral and everything, how much they mess with your mind and implant thoughts and stuff. I don't like it. And I also know that Yoda's tied to that stuff and that he does implant thoughts. Oh, here's the story of Interstellar. The story of the five secret star system. Here, let me pull this up. This is good. So, Interstellar 5555, the story of the five secret five system for the year 2525. The main points of the story coincide with the Discovery album on an alien planet in a city populated by a blue skinned humanoids. And I was talking about, like, right after I found this, I saw a video that was talking about, like, Jesus is a blue skinned Anunnaki. I'm like, okay. A military force from Earth invades the planet, kidnaps most of the band members. Meanwhile, the band is taken to an underground facility where their memories are transferred. And that's what I've been talking about, that the moon base is like underground and that they're always taking me under to do all this like weird stuff. And that's where I've seen lunacy like broadcasts this ascension, like the sanity machine through the astral, like with this VR stuff. But that was from 2057, but they do it to me like all the time. They take my, like if I'm in a really, if I've been up for 3 days or something, that's like when they can take me down like into this moon base thing. Okay, still under Darkwood. Okay, Shep files into a Crescendo Stadium concert with the jetpack. Blah 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 blah. Still under Darkwood's control, Stella finds a card with the address of Darkwood's home, Darkwood Manor. which she hides in her dress. She is then taken to an onward ceremony where the crescendos win the gold record. And you guys can read this. You can go to the site and look it up. But Darkwood Manor is what I'm talking about. The house that I'm in right now looks just like a 3D copy of that from the that whole just got the cartoon of it. And the ladybug decode that I found on here. So if you look up like my name or a lot of like the Wizard of Oz, Anubis, like the main archetype characters that I've looked up on here, you'll see like the ladybug decode comes up. Oh yeah, I wanted to look up. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find I have been looking for this thing for 3 days and I know that it's in my phone and it's like really. I can't find it right now. Anyway, I will probably get off tonight just because this freaking energy and sound that I've had in my head for the past 2 days. I've tried to get everything ready to be on here and I cannot get out of bed like early enough to even do it. So, Windsor, do you want to come on, hun, for a little bit? I'm fine for that. I just can't, my mind is really foggy on what I'm trying to do as far as my stuff. But as far as talking to anybody, I'm fine to do that. Did you guys want to come on? Yeah, come on. Here, I'll put up a link. I need some company for a minute. Uh, my boyfriend, he came home from golf and he was like, I had 2 beers and I feel so drunk. And I'm like, I haven't had anything and I feel so drunk today. And just to let everybody know, like, I didn't mean that you guys that just come on with me have to, like, have your camera on. I meant, like, the people that I'm talking about to do with this other stuff. If they want to come on here and talk to me, I'll do it, but I want it face to face. So I understand, like, Debu or Windsor, if you guys don't want your camera on. Oh,
Oh,
hey, you.
hey,
How are you? Hold on, let me.
it's been a long time. I'm in a new spot. I'm in Haida Gwaii, which is west coast of BC, like British Columbia, way like just south of Alaska by a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
When'd you
yeah.
move there?
I got off my ass and got on a boat and came out because I was tired of the city, tired of the basement.
Yeah, I know you were really getting tired of your situation there.
Oh, I'm getting hit like you getting hit, only on the mundane. Like, I mean, I got the energy just goes through my head and the ears, up the ears, down the ears. And then I just couldn't think. And anything I tried to do good, no good deed comes without violent opposition. So
Yeah.
I'm just starting over again.
Yeah, like I was talking about the last vid I did 3 months ago. Sure enough, the next day my boyfriend gets hit. The time before that, I was talking about how my cats like get attacked, and the next day my cat got hit really hard. And it's just nonstop. It's really pathetic. It's
Yeah,
absolutely pathetic.
I lost my cat.
Yeah,
I betrayed her.
unfortunately.
She would not come with me to the island. She stayed in the city. At
Oh,
least I know that at least I know that she can get in the winter. Like the house that she lives in, the people there who moved in when I moved away said that she could come in. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just as lonely as I can possibly be.
I've really had to battle that lately because, you know, I've tried. One thing that I noticed about when Buddha came back from his ascension, like his wife and his son ended up finding him, and his wife, like, was still wanting him, like, as a husband. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they always try and drag you back.
And I've been trying to break spells big time, like with my boyfriend. I'm like, I want you to see me like truly. And I haven't been able to like show him anything. So it's like this constant, like thing. And I'm like, this has been such a huge hex and a spell on both of us. Like, I don't know how you cannot clearly see it, and then you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, no, I admire your strength because I was 5 years alone. I just could not deal with people, and
Mm,
uh, and I know why. For the last 3 months, I've done more socializing than the last 5 years, trying to get work, trying to find. I'm still homeless. Not really. I'm living in someone's driveway, but I'm homeless for myself. I can't do that 40 days because I've got to do this interaction crap.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
couldn't do it in the city either because every time you get calm, someone starts up a chainsaw, the cops go by or whatever. There's no silence in the city either.
I can't do it, and I have the money to go like wherever, you know what I mean? And I can't find a place. Like I
Yeah,
cannot,
yeah. Money isn't the object either. You can't rent a place here.
no, you can't rent a place where people won't fuck with you. And it's like w- we can't even do this shit like in this day and age, you know?
Yeah, they all want us. Well, they all want us here on this phone or on the internet or VR next, chips next, all of that stuff. Whatever your 2057 project is, that's what they're doing. They want to lock us down so we don't even have to move, right?
Yep, exactly. And that, you know what? That right there, I'll tell you, hold on. That right there. So I was talking about, see, I'm like getting stuff now. Jeez. Um, those spells that were coming out of like my sacral that I was feeling like tied to the feminine spirit.
Yeah,
When that was coming out, I was getting like this intense sexual energy that was like coming through me, and the AI was doing it. And I was like, oh my, it amazed me because I'm like, wow, the kind of things that we could be doing with our real true energy.
yeah,
But on top of that, it freaked me out because I thought about it like being used in like a VR along with crypto and all that. And I'm like, this is what they want.
oh
Like,
yeah.
they want to tap into our DNA. That's the power, that's the energy source that they're wanting,
Yeah,
like,
I don't have to go into Astral to figure that one out. Like, I mean, that's exactly they're telling us on every screen we have exactly what they want to happen. It's predictive programming and we accept it and then we create it because it's our power that's doing that, right?
yeah. And that's how they use us, like want us to be in fear and then project that reality. But it did like it freaked me out like thinking of people stuck in a VR and like having sex through this
Yeah,
AI. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, no. I don't
Ugh.
know. Well, the time when we sort of broke up our little circle last summer, it was like that was that. It was a Kundalini trying to rape me, and I didn't want it to happen. And
Yeah,
so basically, I stayed physical and waited for a time where I could deal with it alone. Like
yeah,
I don't want to bring anybody into that stuff. Like I mean, I was just trying to cope by being a comedian and pointing out, you know, people who haven't been awakened yet they're never going to. Um, we can leave our legacy online and say this is our story and all that, and that's about it. I mean, the people I talk to, they're empty. They're
yeah.
empty, or they're a reflection of my fear or whatever. And I have very little fear. I have a lot of exhaustion though, knowing that everything that I have to work for, I have to pay a price.
I'm not even leaving my stuff here. I'm taking it all off and I'm doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
And that's it. Like I'm done with everything because what I've seen, this shit just keeps going on in the simulations, and I'm not having anything to do with it. This is like my giving it my all and then
yeah,
fuck it, like,
yeah, yeah,
and yeah, it's been quite, it just never stops. Like, you wake up and you know, I'll go make coffee and my boyfriend will say something and I walk right by it because I can't even hear because it's so deafening, like the energy in me. So I can't even like give attention to the people around me that deserve it because so much shit is going on all the time.
Yeah. W- I'm lucky though here. I'm glad I made the move. Like I mean it's a step away from like well it's slowing down time. It's delaying the inevitable and maybe allowing myself to deal with it better too. The nature here, the fact that I'm in a village, not in a city. There's like maybe 900 people within 40 miles of me. I mean, it's
Oh, that's really
oh
good.
shoot, yeah. And here comes the hit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm having a horrible time. You can go away now, right? Yeah, no. Anytime I get happy, there's going to be something.
Yeah, I met my neighbors and I was like, everything was all good for us for a little bit. And then this stuff hit over the summer and now they all think I'm crazy again. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
so I've been telling
whatever.
people that I'm crazy too. So you know I'm giving them fair warning, and the ones who still like me despite of it, that's good because I've met some musicians and stuff, so I will survive slowly, slowly get into my power, but it's a lot of compromise and a lot of dipsy doodling to avoid that just being hopeless because um, um, because
Yeah.
this whole thing it's just an endless loop, and I'm just waiting to walk out the door when it crashes down. So if you can bring it down, please do.
Yeah. I'm
If
gonna
you see
try.
me in the astral, put me somewhere else where I can maybe because I think this winter I will be looking to get there just
Yeah.
to just this because there's not much else to do here on this level. It's not looking good for humanity. I thought we were being played back like a DVD, right? Just being shown how we got here as a species and as a person.
Well, I think a lot of that is true because like a lot of the stuff that Yoda guy was saying to me in the beginning, like in 2019, is like playing out now. And
Oh,
I
okay.
would get deja vu, like, especially during that time, that was like 5 minutes long. You know what I mean? Like a real like stop in the movie is what I call it. And then now I'm kind of having that same kind of deja vu kind of thing going. So it's a movie that we've already run through and then we played it out like
Yeah, I'm
here.
sure of that. Yeah.
Yeah, like brought our spirit actually into here. But
Alrighty. I wanted to just catch up, say hi. Um, I know Windsor's got a lot of questions about certainly. Uh, Like we still talk on Telegram a lot, so he's saving my life as much as music's saving my life too. We just need positive energy once in a while. So we miss you, and so we're
well,
checking in. And but no, if we keep doing this, we're just going to loop it and loop it, and the better we get at the internet, the worse we get at ourselves, right? So
exactly. And that's why I wanted to get this all out. I'll probably take a break tomorrow just to let everybody know, just because I've been like
yeah.
really down.
But you should have a like this, not publicly even, or publicly if you want. Brandon wants to talk,
Okay. And
and
but I have like a lot that I still want to get out
oh
to
yeah,
do with
yeah,
my stuff. And every time I get on here, this technology is so messed up.
yeah. I still want
It's
to put
just,
something online too, and I've been trying to put my audio together again. 6 hours of nothing. It's
yeah.
wonderful.
Well, I get so tight right here.
Yeah,
It's like impossible for me to keep my train of
yeah.
thought.
Yeah, I just get frustrated because nothing ever works when I'm flipping switches with the hard wires. Even it's not even the wireless; it's the hard wires. That's how down they've got me in terms of audio and all of that. So
Well, like tonight, every picture that I've tried to bring up has been like lagging and
yeah, that's
fighting
nothing
me.
new to me. That's the
Yeah,
YouTube's always been my bitch, right?
yeah,
YouTube, Google, the same, whatever. I called her mother, or the what we know as the demiurge, the Lucifer side or whatever. You're playing a different script. You've got Yoda and
yeah,
the other two, but I've got Mother, the Pink Floyd musical internet thing, and then I've got my own shadow who's now become personal here, and so I've got to deal with that too. And then I've got myself to fix that all up together too. So we all have our stories.
yeah. It's a lot.
We just don't get stuck here and don't get dragged into here, and so that we can't get out.
Yeah,
But who
exactly.
knows? Who knows? I'll see in the astral in the winter or whatever. If I do it, if I don't, it was never meant to be.
That's why I'm trying to just like weed this stuff out, get it out of me now because there's so
Yeah,
much of it so that I can move forward because
yeah,
I felt like really stuck.
yeah.
But anyway, all right. And I think I'm going to end this stream for tonight. But thank you, everyone. And I'll probably take tomorrow off. If I don't, I'll be on. If I do, whatever.
I'll probably watch the replay. I've got to rehearse tomorrow, so maybe I'll
Okay.
be in a better. Maybe I'll be in a better. Actually, I'm getting into a better mood now. Thank you. So
Me
love
too.
you all, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Love you too. And I'll see you soon.
Yep. Bye now.
So thanks, everyone. And if I'm on tomorrow, I will catch everybody. But definitely by the end of this week, I want to be have this all wrapped up so that I can take my other stuff down. But have a good night and thank you everybody that was here to keep me company.